Lake Norman. I'm Lynn Marshall, your host of Weekly Connections Around the Lake. How are you? I hope you've had an amazing week. Hope you've had a great full weekend. We've had kind of some funky weather. We've had sun, we've had rain. We'll never, ever, ever during this drought complain about the rain anytime, any day. Let it rain. Bring it on. Well, hey, I want to make sure that you are aware of that little paper that comes into your driveway every single week, usually on Thursday, called the Lake Norman Citizen. Now, you may not be aware that this paper, under other names, has been around almost 25 years. It was created in 2002. Its original name was the Huntersville Herald. Some of you may remember the Huntersville Herald. Then it just became the Herald. Then there was another paper that was formed. And then at some point they were merged and the name was chosen as the Lake Norman Citizen. But still, it is the way to find out what is going on in and around Lake Norman as far as the news. That is the beauty of the Lake Norman Citizen and the Elkin Connect partnership. Is Lake Norman Citizen is all about news, and Elkin Connect is about lifestyle. So together, you have everything you need to know. So I'm going to draw your attention to a few stories that are part of the Lake Norman Citizen this week. And I would love for you to read it and check out these stories. One very front page, it is called A Love Letter from Your Garden. And did you know your garden could write you a love letter? Well, I guess it can. This is about a local Davison resident called Sarah Rubin. Now, Sarah moved to Davison many years ago, did not know anything about gardening, and she got into gardening. Did a little bit here, a little bit there, learning a little bit about it, then began to know more. And in COVID, like many of us did, began to even dive deeper into the area of gardening, found a passion there, found something she loved and she was good at. Then, at the age of 63 and a half, her job was eliminated. Understand that. So her job was eliminated. She said, hey, maybe I can take this thing that I feel like I'm good at, I have a passion for it, and make it into a career. And that is exactly what Sarah Rubin did. Read more of that story, front page, and then it's later on in the paper as well. I think it's great. So many things because here's someone who took a passion and made it into a career. I understand when I was a little bit younger than Sarah, of a certain age, my job was eliminated. Hard to get a job at that point in your life. No one wants to hire all that and pay for that great experience you have. But it is a great time to take things that you've been using as just a hobby and they make it into a career. So if you have done that, I would love to hear your story. I like a lot of people would love to hear your story and see how you have done that. But also good for you if you are a little younger, you don't have any hobbies, you're busy. Find some hobbies, find some things that you're good at, find some passions. One day, it could replace that full-time corporate job and you could do something you love and make it into a career. So check that out. Another thing I want to draw your attention to that's part of Lake Norman Citizen, it is page 11. It is all about the town hall. Now, maybe many of you have been here a long time. Let me tell you, I've been around here a long time. I moved to Huntersville in 1999. Can you believe? 27 years I have lived in this area. I'm a Southern girl, grew up in Georgia, lived in North and South Carolina, went to school in Tennessee. I am Southern through and through, but I've lived in Lake Norman area since 1999. I've seen a lot of changes happen around here, a lot of growth, lots of traffic, lots of people moving in, but Town Hall has been here that long. Well, you know, they built a new Town Hall. They have now a developer that is going to take this Town Hall and make it a destination. Think about Optimus Hall. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If you've been to Optimus Hall, down, I think it's Dilworth area, is that where it is? A lot of cool places, like a lot of places to go in and eat, a lot of coffee shops, a lot of some little cute boutique retail. So I'm wondering if they're thinking Optimus Hall. Huntersville downtown has been building up like all other little downtown areas that we have. So fascinating with that. Check that story out, page 11. Would love to get your input. Then, like that dirty little pleasure you have that you think, oh, should I read this? Yes, you should. Page 19, we now have the crime reports. So it's like the thing, it's like, let's see, were any of my neighbors arrested? I don't know. And beauty of it, this is made possible to us by Bedrock Ace Hardware, as you can see them, Bedrock Ace Hardware. kind of view to Huntersville, the Ace Hardware store, independently owned, down by the food line at the corner of 21 and Gilead. They are sponsoring it. So you kind of like say, over coffee, let's see if any of my neighbors got arrested. Check that out, page 19 of the crime report this past week. Should we want to read this? Yes, we should. So, also, did you know that Lake Norman was not always here? No, Lake Norman is a man-made lake, which means it was not always here. Duke Power, before it was Duke Energy, it was called Duke Power, actually created a dam and created what we know now as Lake Norman. There are so many like stories about what sits below the lake. Like there's these whole towns. I don't think there really is. But we are now doing features by David Beard on life before the lake. What was this area like before Lake Norman was created? So he is featuring a story on 1916, the flood of 1916. Fascinating read. You will appreciate this area so much more. Check it out. Also, last week's edition of Lake Norman Citizen has a whole bunch of articles on that. So go to Elkin Connect, look at Lake Norman Citizen, read all about life before Lake Norman. So that's what's going on, Lake Norman Citizen. Keep you informed and up to date around the Huntersville, Cornelius, Davison, Mooresville, Denver area, delivered to 40,000 homes every single week. Also, you can check it out online at the lakenormanpublications.com. Also, Elkin Connect. You can get connected right there with all that same news. So be sure to check that out. Also, Elkin Connect has so many things to make your life better. We want to make sure you are living your healthiest, best life. If you want to take care of others, you have to take care of yourself first, just like on an airplane. They go, hey, take your oxygen first before you share it with someone else. Sometimes we think that's selfish, but it's really not. How can we take care of other people if we are not first taking care of ourselves? Exercising, eating healthy, resting, using our mind. Elkin Connect has so many ways you can do that. Has advice of things you can do to live healthier, to take care of yourself. Has places and people who want to help you take care of yourself. So many resources. You can find all that on LKN Connect to be your best self. And of course, Lake Norman, we want to be local. We want to support our local businesses and establishments. As I said, I have been here so long. Things have popped up. I kind of got in a rut going to the same place. But if you want to try something new, maybe there is a new restaurant, a new small business, a new service, and you are not even aware of it. LKN Connect has the latest and the greatest up to date. In our community, we should support one another. We should support local. Why are we letting all the big boxes come in and take over? Why are we letting all those things, businesses that rhyme with Woogle, take over? We should support our local medias. We should promote our business through local medias and support local. You can find out about all those on LKN Connect. Talk to the business owner. We can hear their story, why they started it, what was their motivation. Maybe they had a passion like Sarah Rubin, who they turned into a business. And we want to support that, right? Because we may be there one day. So Elkin Connect is a way to find all those. Now, Lake Norman, so many things to do and see and experience. There's an amazing live music scene in and around Lake Norman area. Colin Furt, he knows all about it. On Elkin Connect, he can tell you like what big music concerts are coming up. And sometimes they're in Charlotte. Most of the time are Lake Norman. Find out all that, like family activities. You can find out things to do for couples, singles, whatever you're looking for. It is right here on LKN Connect. And we update this material every single day. There is something new. Check it out yesterday, look at it today, tomorrow, always something new. LKN Connect will keep you in the know. And delicious restaurants. We have some of the most outstanding restaurants ever here in the Lake Norman area. Also, though, I want to tell you this like little tidbit. Maybe you know this, but Kelly Fox, who owns the Lake Norman Citizen, her son has the only Michelin star restaurant in Charlotte. Counter Restaurant is the person who started that is the son of the owner of the Lake Norman Citizen. Who would have known? So check that out too. So many great restaurants here. I want you to know the latest and greatest, but sometimes you want to eat at home, right? And you need a good recipe. You want to have people into your home, have that sense of community. Margie Kyle. Margie Kyle is not only the people to know, Margie Kyle has Sunday dinner recipes. So if you want to find a good recipe that's just going to wow your guest and they go, you made this? This is so amazing. Margie Kyle, check out one of her great recipes. We have a lot of them on there. Find just the right recipe to make everyone at your dinner table happy, create great community, great conversation. That is what we're really all about here. We want to have a great community. We want to help you build a great community with your friends and family. We want to give you all the information and the resources to do that. That is what Elkin Connect and Lake Norman Citizen are really all about, is just creating a better life and helping you create a better life for yourself and the community around you. Because we are so fortunate to live in this place we call Lake Norman. Um, that's why everyone's moving here, right? I really think we should put a gate up. I think everyone would agree. I think we're full. I think we're full. But we have great weather. We have great, beautiful resources. We have the lake. We have great restaurants, great places to live. It's just beautiful here. And so, so many people want to live here. I think we should appreciate it and support all those who have made this home and are doing business here in Lake Norman. Let's commit to do that, shall we? Let's commit to this week supporting at least one local business who is putting food on their table by their open doors and by the business that we give them. We can help someone put food on their table. Let's do that this week. Let's all commit to do that, shall we? Let's do it. It has been so much fun to hang out with you today and share my thoughts, share what's going on in the paper, share what's going on in this community. Together, we can do this. That is why the Lake Norman Citizen and Elkin Connect have joined forces, is because we want to help you stay more informed. We want to help you stay more engaged. We want to help you stay more connected so we can help and support one another. That is me, Lynn Marshall, here, Weekly Connections Around the Lake. I will be back here next week, giving you more info, giving you more intel, helping you have the best life ever in this place we call Lake Norman. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye.